Ethan Marlowe was not a man destined for greatness, at least. That was what he told himself every morning when the alarm clock screamed at him, dragging him out of a bed that felt more like a coffin than a place of rest. He lived in a gray city, walked gray streets, and worked a gray job. His dreams, once vibrant, had been buried under deadlines, bills, and a marriage that had dissolved into silence. And yet, destiny has a cruel way of revealing itself. It was a winter night when Ethan's life cracked apart. Driving home late after another exhausting day, his car skidded on black ice. For a moment, headlights became falling stars, glass shattered, like rain, and time slowed to the rhythm of his final heartbeat. Then darkness. A silence deeper than sleep, heavier than stone. Ethan was gone, or so it seemed. Part 2, Between Worlds awoke in nothingness. No pain, no sound, only a vast field of mist stretching beyond imagination. Am I dead? He whispered. His voice echoed like thunder in the emptiness. Figures began to emerge, faces he once knew. His father, long buried, a childhood friend who had drowned at 16. They did not speak, but their eyes carried the weight of eternity. Ethan felt a pull, a tide dragging him toward an endless abyss. And for the first time in years, he wasn't afraid. But then a voice, not human, not divine, but something raw, ancient, and unyielding. It is not your time. The mist tore apart, and Ethan plummeted back into agony. His chest screamed, his lungs clawed for air. He awoke in a hospital bed, machines wailing, doctors shouting, a nurse pressing on his broken ribs to keep his heart alive. He had returned. Part 3, Rebirth and Pain. Next week's were torment. His body was shattered, broken bones, torn muscles, lungs like paper. But the greater torment was inside. For in the void, he had seen both peace and terror. And now, every second felt like a gift balanced on the edge of a blade. Ethan began to notice things he never had before. The warmth of sunlight against his skin, the fragile beauty of his mother's hands when she visited, the sound of children laughing in the hallway. Life raw, unpolished, fleeting suddenly shimmered before him. One night, unable to sleep, he whispered to the darkness of his hospital room, I will not waste this second chance. Not again. Part 4, the journey of recovery was brutal. Months of physical therapy, steps that felt like mountains, nights of despair. But with every painful breath, Ethan grew stronger not only in body, but in spirit. He began writing letters to people he had wronged. He called his ex-wife, not to rekindle love, but to apologize. He hugged strangers, fed the homeless, and walked through the city with eyes wide open. He realized that most people were like him, once alive, but not living. So he told his story in coffee shops, community halls, online videos filmed on a cheap phone. He spoke of death, of the void, of the burning clarity that came from standing at the gates of nothingness, and people listened, thousands, then millions. Because he did not speak of glory or fame. He spoke of life itself, the miracle of opening your eyes in the morning, of sharing laughter, of breathing. Part 5, the test but fate is not done with those who rise. 1 year after his accident, Ethan was invited to climb Mount Kailash with a group of adventurers. It was madness, thin air, freezing winds, his body still scarred. Yet he said yes. The climb was brutal, his lungs screamed, his legs shook. And at times the mountain seemed to whisper, give up, you are nothing. But at the summit, standing against the endless sky, Ethan felt no fear. He spread his arms and laughed, tears freezing on his face. I was dead, he shouted into the abyss. And now I live. The wind carried his cry across the peaks. Part 6, Legacyathan never became rich. He never became famous in the way Hollywood defines it. But he became unforgettable. He founded a movement called the Second Sunrise, a community of survivors, dreamers, and broken souls learning to cherish life. People who had been on the brink of despair found hope in his words. A soldier who had lost both legs in war, a mother who had buried her child, a teenager fighting addiction. Ethan showed them that even from the ashes of death, life can be reborn brighter than before. When he finally passed away decades later, not from accident, but from age, his last words echoed the vow he made in that hospital room: never waste a breath. Life is the rarest gift.